Hey guys, good to see you. If you've been following all my videos recently, you'll be noticing I've been refining the 4 pedal and 1 amp setup to get a better sound. But the problem with this is that all the pedals that I'm getting are more expensive. So I thought I'd bring it back and see how we could do a 4 pedal and 1 amp setup the cheapest way possible. So the first thing we're going to need to do in this setup is try and split our original bass signal into 2 different paths, and in order to do that I'm going to use this, which is our Switchblade Plus, which you should have seen in one of my previous videos. If not, have a look here. And now, because that's splitting into 2 different places, we're not going to send it to 2 amps, so we need to combine it together again with a mixer. And this is going to be done using this. This is the Behringer MX400 4-channel mixer. Now it's a 4-channel mixer, but because it's so cheap, you know, I'm just going to leave 2 of them spare, which is fine. The only problem with this is it's got a 12 volt power supply, so you can't use 9 volt batteries or your standard pedal power supply. You need something separate. That's a bit of a pain. So we split the signal into 2. One of them is just going to be the clean bass loop, and that's going to be controlled by the Switchblade Plus. But in order to get our guitar sound, how are we going to do that as cheaply as possible? Well, the first thing we need to do is put an octave up, and we can do that with this. This is the Behringer US600 Ultra Shifter Harmonist, and if you haven't seen my explanation of this video, you can see the video link here. And then once we've switched that up an octave, then we need to make it sound more like a guitar. Now I originally started using guitar distortion effects, but then came up with, well, I got told by someone on YouTube to use an amp simulator, so we ended up using this, which is the Joyo California sound pedal. And once that's combined with the octave up signal, we get a fairly good guitar signal. So if all that's sounding a bit confusing, come down with me to the bass amp and we can see how this actually all fits together and how it sounds. Alright, so here's the setup. We've got the bass coming into the input. We're using the Switchblade in exactly the same way as I normally do in my other videos. So we have output A, which is denoted by this red LED here, going into the Ultra Shifter, putting it an octave up. This is in the pitch shifting mode and it's into the +1 octave. And that's going into California sound, and that's set up exactly as we did in the previous video. Yeah, the drive isn't at max because you get this horrendous distortion. Not very nice if you crank it up loud. And then over here on the mixer, we've got this red cable here, which is the channel A going all the way through. And that's only up to half, and then output B, which is the green cable, which is the clean bass signal. I've put into the 3rd channel just to give it a bit of space, and that's up to half. These are down low. So with the Switchblade as it is at the minute, that should just be the guitar channel. And then if I push this should go green, and now it should just be the bass channel. And then, as I explained before, if you put this one on, it's both at the same time. And that's it, simple as that. The only issue I've found with this actually is that because this is using the Switchblade to change which signal's getting sent out, the feedback or the buzz coming from this will always come through here because it's always being mixed. Even though there's no signal going into it, there's always a buzz coming out of it. Even though if I turn that just to bass, you've still got it. Even if you do that, it doesn't really matter. That's the only downside I've found. Alright guys, that was just meant to be a quick one. I think they sound pretty good for saying how cheap they are, but in order to help you decide whether it's worth buying them, I'm going to do a comparison video. Now this next video I'm going to compare this setup to the more expensive 4 pedal and 1 amp setup and the 2 pedal and 2 amp setup. So subscribe if you want to see that, and take it easy. I'll see you next time.